Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for these issues. So, originally I was going to do all 4 issues of Magik, but I didn't feel like doing a 40-minute video. I don't think Magik. So I figure splitting it up between 2 20-minute videos is a little bit easier than just having one long video. So we're going to do Magik 3 and 4 here. Chris Claremont is the writer. John Buscema is the penciler. And Tom Palmer Jr. Or sorry, not Jr. Tom Palmer Sr. is the inker here, and Ron Frenz does the pencils for this cover. But man, oh man, so we start out here. My love or Storm's life, Ileana, choose. So not much of a choice. You kill the demon, but she is under his spell. So Tom Palmer does these luscious, thick brushes. Just such a he has such a unique style. I have never met someone who is quite as unique in this art style. When Tom Palmer inks you, man, oh man, is it different. So Ron Frenz actually is the penciler, not John Buscema. So, all right, here we go. So, Soul Quest is the title of issue 3. So now another 2 years have passed, and Belasco has been training Ileana in his dark arts here. So, poor little creature here. It's always the cute little creatures. And she's gonna turn that thing into this evil little gremlin thingy here. And so of course attacks Ileana, and she smacks it away, and so it runs away here. You can still see Cat. It's still this cat-like creature here who is gonna kill now that thing to eat it. So Kitty kind of looks at her, but Ileana's uncomfortable with the way that he looks, but Belasco says, don't worry, Kitty won't harm you. So off she goes here, and even uses her phasing powers here, and Kitty still, or Ileana still like, get away, but you can see a little bit of Kitty remains here. Almost a human portion, and Ileana's still like, get out of here, throws the pillow at her. Of course, Kitty rips the pillow here, and she uses her powers and gets her out here, and Kitty leaves, and you can see Ileana is still a little bit heartbroken. But Ileana hasn't been quite as corrupted as Belasco thinks here. She still wants to try and get away. Man, look at Chris Claremont. Again, he is such a writer. This thing would, if I were to read this issue alone would probably take me 40 minutes. But she still has good in her. And one of the things she does is she wants to create life instead of death. And she creates an acorn here. She's going to try to create a garden, but you see the acorn explodes here. And, you know, it took so much out of her to create it. So, so when she begins, she calls out for Storm here. And Storm is in the astral projection here. And Storm basically says she's on her way to rescue her. So, and to just trust her. So Ileana basically says, I have a plan. I'm Belasco's apprentice. I've been a good girl since I arrived. He hasn't the slightest idea how I really feel about him. I spend every chance I get in his library studying his grimoires, his magic books. I'm certain I can find a spell there to destroy it. And Storm says, I forbid it. And Ileana says, you don't understand. If I don't act soon, it'll be too late. Each day, no matter how hard I resist, his influence grows stronger. I respond to him more and more. Or Ororo, I want what he offers. So Ororo here is like, are you eager to share in Cat's fate? And Ileana's like, I will anyway, even if I do nothing. I have nothing to lose. And Storm says, you have far more than you realize, Ileana. Then help me. And she says, I'm on my way. Be patient. So we're going to discover really quick. So if you remember in the previous issue, these discs appear. And it turns out that this is Ileana's mutant power. So Ileana's able to sort of teleport by going through these things from dimension. Like I don't quite know how it works here with Ileana. I forgot, but I know that she's able to kind of go through these, and she calls them stepping discs because she steps through them. So yeah, because she's like 11 now, so she's hitting that age. So that's kind of how. So this is what these things are. And so she's gonna step across it here, and you can see here kind of how it works here. And she's seeing here, you see this car here, and it's the New Mutants. And they're like, hey, that's Ileana. And Cannonball here says, it can't be Bobby, she's too young. But then suddenly everyone vanishes, and it says here, see New Mutants 14 for this. So we are sort of we're moving around between what I've covered and not covered, because these issues actually show up. They take place around the time that I'm doing. So she kind of went into the future. So she hasn't, of course, figured out how this her power works here. So she's going to step right through, and now she's going to be in Belasco's library. Storm's astral form shows up. She doesn't want her to read this book, the Grimoire, and it kind of shoves her back. But she's in the past now. When she's going in, and she's seeing the younger Storm trying to fight Belasco here. And she is actually trying to beat him. He begs for her life. But it seems here that Ororo gives it says here, kills him, thus corrupts Storm herself here. And so Belasco, of course, did not die, but it that trying to kill her causes, like I said, her corruption. And so then you can see here Ileana appears, and now she's back in the present, and Sim catches her. But of course, she kind of uses her power and her disc and gets rid of him here. So Ileana realizes that all Storm wanted to do was protect her from corrupting herself, just like she had done here. Now Storm has arrived here, and you can see that she is fighting Belasco here. She is attempting to rescue Ileana, and you can see Cat kind of going from behind here and just claws her, and Ileana's like, get away, Cat. So with the torch hits Cat here, and so she tries and begs for Cat not to kill Storm, but Cat, of course, is completely corrupted here. And unfortunately, Ileana has no choice and has to kill Cat. Look at this, and just snaps her neck here as killing poor Kitty. Of course, now Storm is still alive, but near death, and she tells her, "Don't be sad. It was a mercy killing. You freed her from her cage. Within her heart, within the heart of soul, lies the key to victory. We could not find it, but you must. Be glad for me, Ileana, for I go to join those I love." And Sully Belasco, I love this. I love the screen tone and the color here. Not quite Wind Rider. This is absolutely beautifully the simple coloring of those days. I absolutely love. So here comes Belasco, and Belasco taunts them and orders Ileana to conjure up the third bloodstone here. So, and on the last page here of issue number 3 here, we will strip your soul from your body while you still live, and offer it to those I serve, the Dark Ones, as sacrifice. Death will not herald your freedom, harlot, but your eternal damnation. So, all right, so here we go to the final issue, number 4. And this cover is done, I think, by Brett Blevins. I'm pretty sure here, based on the style. And Brett Blevins, I believe, it could be Tom Palmer, because it does have some, but it has some Brett Blevin-ishes. Tom Palmer Jr. is an incredible inker. Again, rest in peace, my man. This series was very dark here, so it looks like we now have the other Buscema. So it looks like John Buscema only did the 2 issues, but Ron Frenz and his brother Sal take over here. Sal Buscema is the current penciler of the New Mutants. So Tom Palmer, man, a heck of an inker, man. Rest in peace. Sal Buscema, by the way, is still alive. So, all right, we have a different colorist, but Tomer Zakowski still, man, what a warrior. Darkchild is the title of the last issue here. So Belasco again orders Ileana to create the third bloodstone and use its power to sacrifice Ororo's soul to his elder gods. But what Ileana does is very unexpected here. So Storms kind of smiles like, do what you have to do. And Ileana says, forgive me, I wish there was another way, and stabs Storm instead. So that way so her soul will be free. And this causes Storm's power to, right before death, create a huge storm, creating havoc here. And Belasco is pissed, because now Storm's soul will get to be free. And so Belasco, of course, is really mad, and so she's going to use one of those discs that she can create, and her and Storm are going to disappear, where Ileana is going to bury her. She's still wearing, after years and years, she's still wearing that same outfit. Huh. But, unfortunately, Storm's garden, without Storm, it begins to wither, and you can see here, would most likely be like a nightmare as Storm comes out here. And this is, of course, Belasco tormenting poor Ileana here with all these illusions of her friends. Here's Colossus, her brother, and her home, her mom, her dad, and then they reject her. So this is just Belasco being mean. So she had, of course, been asleep here. So I like this. Hello, Belasco. So, all right. Belasco really wants that third, the bloodstone here. So Belasco says, this moment could have been as pleasurable for you as for me, Ileana. So he's going to, look at this here, kind of her dark So here, and so here comes the Bloodstone. And Belasco's, you must be taught a lesson, Eliana. You must learn, as your precious X-Men did, to their sorrow, who is master of Limbo. So, like I said, he's pissed. And so Belasco says here, I leave you to fend for yourself in this wilderness. My spells will deny you the use of your mutant teleporting talent. You will not use your light circles to escape. You may starve, be wrecked by loathsome plagues, ravaged by wild beasts, but you will not die. When I have needed you, a summons will bring you to my side. I will take from you whatever I please. You cannot prevent it, as he yanks the necklace from her. Eventually, of course, you will not want to. Then perhaps, if you ask nicely, I may forgive. So, Belasco, quite the mean little guy. So, and so she realizes, so she's been sent to where Ororo's garden was, and this oak tree is still alive because of Storm's powers. So she's going to use this tree as a sustenance. And she's going to try to create a life the way that... by the way, this is going to take the rest of the years. So I think this will take like another 2 years here. So she continues trying to create more acorns, but every time that she creates them, it bursts. And so she keeps trying, and she keeps, again, taking essence from the oak tree and, again, creating life, but each time it bursts. The oak tree does eventually die. The last sacrifice. And she feels just so defeated. And Elena's going to come to the realization here that she can't create the life the way that Storm did, because her path and motivations are just too different. So she is going to draw on the last of the oak tree's energy to mix it with her own to create a weapon that'll represent her true self. And this, of course, is the Soul Sword. So off she goes to fight Belasco one last time. And so we have Kazar and Shanna here. Some stuff happened in Kazar number 29, which we did not cover, but he has them here. So he wants to be free from the prisons. He says here, the Elder God sentenced me to limbo until such a time I could find my own way out. Originally, my intention was to utilize Eliana as the means to that end, but this is so much more delicious because he's going to use these as his way out. My enchantments are already manipulating the Atlantean android Dirk, and I need only restore Queen Leanne's to semblance of health. So that's who the other two were here. But here comes Magik and destroys, I don't know, the statues or whatever, and goes, remember me, love the color red. Just one color. Comic books now don't do that, of course, but here they go, and the two are about to start the fight. And so Claremont, again, a lot of writing, which is why these, even though I'm not reading them, trust me, if I were to read these issues, we'd be here for about 40 minutes per issue. So Sim comes to save his master, but Eliana disposes of him. Now obviously she does not kill him because Sim will be an important character in the New Mutants. But Eliana is going to start to draw on the Belasco's demonic attributes to become the Dark Child persona of herself. But when she has a chance to finish Belasco, she's going to hesitate here. So you can see here, I mean, she's really get him here. So Um, she knows that if she kills him, she's gonna be permanently corrupted, and she doesn't want to become like him, so she won't kill him. Um, and Belasco um, is going to be escaping. He goes, "You renounce your heritage?" And he goes, "No, I embrace it." And he's like, "Absolute power was in your grasp." And she's like, "The price was too high. Pitiful, pathetic, human weakling." And so um, she's like, "Don't get too cocky, Belasco. You're alive solely because I spared you in fair combat. Your dark child beat you." And so he says, "In that you proved your right to my place as the Dark One's standard bearer. Your act of so-called mercy, I say cowardice, proves how much of the child yet you remain. The battle is a battle is not a war, Ileana. You will come to curse this day when I deliver your precious planet to the embrace of my dread masters." And so he leaves, and she goes, "I won, but I don't feel like cheering." I love the screen tones here. So, all right, we're almost done here. And so she's got the medallion here with 3 of the 5 having already been completed here. There's nothing left holding her. So she uses her power here and goes to where Kitty is trying to grab her. And they, of course, now have the older Ileana, which was not explained, of course. And so now we're back to the present, and this was a year ago as she's narrating this. And so you can see Ileana reflecting here on, she's got the X-Men here, and she's crying, but she's crying happy. That's they're showing that here. So she's going to resolve to do what is best for her fate that she has been given. And here she is watching the New Mutants play. And so she's going to go and join them here. So, all right. So that concludes. I apologize. I really tried to get all 4 issues done in 20 minutes, but it just wasn't able to. So, as I mentioned, I did end up breaking them up. So, Magik 3 and 4, the conclusion of this limited series, written by Chris Claremont, inked by Tom Palmer, with issue 3 by Ron Frenz and issue 4 by Sal Buscema. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it's really a filler story, just filling in some gaps as to what happened. Chris Claremont really wanted to make Magik an essential part of the New Mutants, which is why I'm covering it. So, all right, like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.